Hello YouTube friends, and welcome back to Bountiful Blessings Urban Homestead. In this video we're going to be going over how to prepare and care for baby bunnies. Alright guys, if you don't already have rabbits, you're going to want to go ahead and get rabbits. They are useful in so many ways. You can get compost, fur, meat, you can sell them as pets, you can sell them as breeding stock, you can sell them for show rabbits, you can show them yourself and win prizes. Rabbits are so beneficial to you in so many ways. So you're going to want to go ahead and get rabbits if you don't already have rabbits. Alright, now that you have your rabbits, you're going to want to go ahead and breed your rabbits. Okay, that's going to be an entire another video. We have other videos for that. Go ahead to our channel and subscribe to see other content related to rabbits and homesteading and chickens. But in this one, we're going to be showing you about preparing and caring for the baby bunnies. So now that your rabbits are bred, the gestation cycle begins. And the gestation cycle is the duration of which the rabbit is pregnant. And that usually lasts anywhere from 28 to 31 days. And it can go as far as 35 days. But if your rabbit does not give birth by day 35, I would go ahead and rebreed your rabbit. Okay. We're going to want to go ahead and introduce our nesting box on day 27. Now, we have one nesting box here, which is wooden, which we have made ourselves. Our rabbits in this nesting box are 1 week old. We can go ahead and take a look at them. They all have their fur, and they are just cuddled up in there, nice and warm. They're trying to stay warm here in the December months. We have new colors at our rabbitry here. This is a new color that we haven't seen before here on our rabbitry homestead. This could be tort or it could be amber. We're gonna have to wait to find out. But the lineage of the baby here does have amber in the ancestors, so it could be amber. Here's the mom and the dad we have over here. It is a chocolate buck. He is solid chocolate as far as I know. Good boy. We're going to want to introduce this at day 27. Any earlier and the rabbit could start using the nesting box as a litter box, and we don't want that. And any later than that, and you risk having the babies here on the cage bottom or on the wire, and that's not good for the babies at all. So we introduce it here at day 27. We put some hay in there and some pine shavings on the bottom, and we give mom an extra handful of hay so she can go ahead and make her nest however she wants. And as you can see, she kind of made it in the back and made it dug down into the bottom corner of the nest there. And she's going to make it however she wants. Moms know what they're doing usually. If they don't, they will learn. I tried not to interfere as much as possible because we want her to know how to raise her own babies. We want her to be capable of bringing these babies up by herself. We don't want to be having to take babies into the house and bottle feed them all the time. So after you introduce the nesting box, she may start to exhibit some behaviors of nesting, which do include the packing of the hay. She will walk around in her mouth with a bunch of hay and bring it into the nest and put it into certain areas and break it off into smaller pieces and dig a little hole, and then she will pull fur. As you can see here, she will pull fur to cover her babies so that they can help regulate the baby's temperature. And the babies will be virtually furless until they're 4 days old, so they definitely need to have mom regulating their temperature for the first 4 days of life, which is another reason why we try not to interfere. We want mom to know how to regulate her kids' temperatures during that time period. So during the first couple days of life, when the mom kindles, she's gonna go ahead and have the baby rabbits one at a time. And when she does that, she is going to have them one at a time and clean them off individually. And then she is going to have the afterbirth. And after she has the afterbirth, she is going to eat it. And then she's going to clean herself off to remove all the blood scent to not attract predators. This is something rabbits have done to protect themselves and their litters, to not attract predators to the nesting site. And after that's done, the mom usually won't go back into the nest for about 12 or 24 hours or so. We want to leave the kids alone for at least 12 hours, but within the first 24 hours, we do want to get a first count on how many babies Mama did have. Now, Mama will generally have her babies during the night. She can have them during the day, but rabbits typically have their babies at night. And when we come in the morning to do our morning chores, we will see that there is some babies moving around underneath the pile of fur, which is just a great happy day. And you know that you're gonna be very happy that day on your homestead. Here we have a pregnant rabbit. She's kind of defensive. All of our does here are pregnant. We have 1 pregnant, 2 pregnant, and 3 pregnant, and Mama just kindled. So we are going to be having lots of more baby rabbits here on the homestead, and we're starting to learn our rabbits' genetic codes so that we can understand how we're breeding and try to get certain phenotypes with the genotypes that we have. So now that your rabbits are counted for the first day, you're going to want to go ahead and do this every day for the first week. Now, I would not overhandle your rabbits. When you're counting your kits, you're going to want to be very gentle and quick, because you don't want to drain their energy. They need all the energy they have for nursing on mom when mom is ready to hop in and give them milk. Now, these rabbits are a week old, so we can get in here and we can start handling them a little bit more now. They all have their fur. They're starting to regulate their own body temperature. And now that they're a week, after you've been doing this for a week, checking them every day, I suggest that you get in here and you do handle your rabbits, and you get them used to being held, and you get them used to your scent, because you want your rabbits to be tame in your hands, and you want your rabbits to know you and be familiar with you. So now we're at a week old, and we're able to pick our rabbits up a little bit and mess around with them. About 3 days from now, the rabbits are all going to open up their eyes, and they will be able to see and hear for the first times in their lives. And then they will start exploring the nest, and you will see them come to the edge, and they'll start exploring the cage, and they'll fall out. And when they fall out, you're going to want to help them get back in for the first couple days until they can get back in themselves. And after that, you're going to want to take out the nest and possibly change the bedding in the nest, because at this age they're starting to go to the bathroom more frequently in the nest. Around day 21 or at 3 weeks old, you're going to want to go ahead and remove the nest entirely. So we, at our homestead here, we don't just remove it. We take out all of the bedding material and we just turn the nest on its side, so the rabbits have a familiar place to be, and they can also still go in and hide underneath of here. And then as the box is on its side, the mom is able to get up on top of it and get away from the babies, because they will always be trying to nurse on her and she's going to want a little area where she can get away from them. And then at 5 weeks old, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our rabbits away from mama. At this point, they've already been exploring the nest and the cage quite a bit. They've probably dabbled into eating the pellet quite a bit and drinking the water as well. So they are able to be removed from mom's milk. You're going to want to do this and make sure that mom is not lactating anymore. At this time, when you wean the kids from your mom, it is optional to separate the males and females. You can leave the females in here with mom, but here on our rabbitry, she will already have been rebred and will be having babies in about 2 weeks. So she has about 2 weeks of rest time with no kits in her cage so that she can get some alone and privacy time after all of that hard work for us. Now, if you do choose to separate your males and females, I will have another video on how to sex your rabbits, so just stay tuned and subscribe for that video. This here is one of my grow out cages. After I wean the kids from mom, I bring them over to one of these cages here. I will end up building one more of these for the next grow out series. And we can put all of the kids in here unsexed or sexed into 2 individual ones, or leave the females with mom, and they can live out the rest of their lives in this cage together until they are 12 weeks old, and then we sell them as breeding stock, or we harvest them for meat or in fur here on our farm. If we're going to harvest them for fur, we do have to keep them until they are 16 weeks old, so that their fur has a chance to fully mature and the skin and hide has a chance to thicken up and not be as tender. So now that we've talked about how to prepare and care for your baby rabbits, we're going to go over some of the tips that I have for breeding your rabbits and caring for your baby rabbits. You're going to want to try to avoid breeding your rabbits in the summertime, because rabbits are not very heat tolerant. They do better in the wintertime, but the best time to breed your rabbits and have baby rabbits is in the spring and fall. So try to shoot for those areas, and just try not to be having babies during the very high temperatures above 80 degrees in the summertime, because they just do not do well. If your moms do have the kits on the wire, even if you put the nesting box in there, I recommend go ahead and grab the kits and put them in the nest as quick as possible. Make sure that they are all in the nest warm and cozy next to each other, keeping each other warm with their body heat, and making sure that every individual one of them is okay before you put them in the nest. Also, when you're doing your daily check for the first 7 days, you're going to want to make sure that none of the kits have died. If they have died during that time, you're going to want to make sure you remove them, because they can generate quite a bit of cool temperatures in the nest and freeze out other kits, and they can also be a bacteria. Well, folks, that's all I have for preparing and caring for your rabbits. If you like this video, go ahead and drop a like and comment. We appreciate all your comments here at Bountiful Blessings Urban Homestead.